few days ago, we were introduced to the Sonic the Hedgehog the movie trailer, and admittedly, a lot of people didn't really like it. It looked very strange. Some of the casting was very strange. Some of the music used in the trailer was very strange, and just the whole vibe of the trailer was very, very strange. And since then, we of course have gotten a major announcement saying that there will be some changes to this movie design. And it was a big story last night. A lot of people made videos on it, and I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna make a video on it. It seems like everyone else is already talking about it. I'll let them have their own shine. But since then, there's been sort of this movement that's been happening. I've been seeing it happen on social media, Twitter, various video gaming websites, and now it's getting louder and louder and louder. And I think this movement is just absolutely ridiculous for a multitude of reasons. And it's just so hypocritical that people are now bringing up these things that are far-fetched, may or may not even be true, and trying to spin this narrative on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So really, that's what I want to talk about in this video. I want to expand a little bit more on the initial trailer, what has happened since that initial trailer, and about this movement and why it's just so hypocritical and nobody seems to be calling it out. Maybe people are afraid that they're going to get some heat for it. Me personally, I don't really care. You know, if people are going to be upset about my opinion on something, that's okay. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion on it. So what is going on with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and what is so hypocritical about what has happened since this announcement? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about what's going on with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and why people are being hypocrites.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So a few days ago on the channel, we reacted to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer, and admittedly, I didn't like it. And there were some people that disagreed with me, and that's cool. You know, at the end of the day, it was just my opinion on a movie trailer, and that video did pretty well, but unfortunately, I didn't make a single cent on it. Who made the money on that video? Coolio, because of the use of Gangsta's Paradise in that video trailer, and I knew that was probably going to happen. Admittedly, Coolio did do some great songs back in the day. 1, 2, 3, 4 was an absolute banger, so maybe that was my gift to Coolio. Thank you for making some great songs in my childhood. Enjoy this money that I made from this video, because now it's all yours because of the use of Gangsta's Paradise. But obviously, there was a lot of things going on in the Sonic the Hedgehog the movie trailer. There was a lot of problems that I have, and most of it really comes down to the design of Sonic the Hedgehog himself. His eyes did not look correct. His teeth were very strange. His elongated legs instead of short and stumpy. Very strange stuff here. So I was not very thrilled with the trailer, and a lot of people weren't very thrilled with the trailer. And of course, since then, I did get some backlash from it. A lot of people, one of the main things that people said, well, this is not a movie for you. This is a movie for kids. And this trailer was for kids. Yes, because using an iconic character who saw his best days and his high success rate, Sonic the Hedgehog, from the 1990s, definitely hits with kids. Yes, because using Jim Carrey, an actor who saw his greatest days in the late 80s to 90s, is definitely resonating with kids. And to use the hit song from the 1990s, Gangsta's Paradise, definitely that's a choice among kids. So many kids out there love Coolio right now, and that's why Coolio is seeing this resurgence. No, shut up! Like, this trailer was not designed with kids in mind. It was designed for adults, and maybe their whole thing was that they wanted adults with families now to sort of resonate with this film to bring their kids to the movie theater. And maybe that's the case. I could sort of buy that. But to say that this trailer was designed with kids in mind is just absolutely ludicrous in my mind when everything in the trailer screamed 1990s. They even said Genesis in an obvious reference to the Sega Genesis. So leave that notion at the door, because I think that's just absolutely silly. Now, of course, since then, a lot of people have voiced their displeasure about the movie itself and the character design himself. Well, last night, we got some big news from the director of the film. The director of Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, Jeff Fowler, took to Twitter and said the following message: "Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be. Hashtag Sonic movie, hashtag gotta fix fast." So obviously the hashtag gotta fix fast is in reference to the fact that this movie is scheduled to release in November of 2019, and if they want to do some major character changes to the Sonic the Hedgehog character to make him, well, look more like Sonic the Hedgehog, they're probably going to have to work pretty fast in order to do this and do a lot of different design changes. Now, since then, initially people were happy. Initially people were like, great, you know what, our criticisms were heard, and now we're actually making a positive change in this movie. But since then, there's been people, and these people seem to be getting louder and louder, and more people seem to be jumping on this bandwagon, this hypocritical hypocritical bandwagon, as I'm going to call it, of the fact that we shouldn't have complained about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Nobody should have complained about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, because now we're interfering with the director's vision for Sonic the Hedgehog. Now we're causing additional stress and additional hardships on animators who are working on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I find that funny because all of that is clearly just assumption. And let me sort of break it down to you and sort of tell you guys why I feel that way. First and foremost, let's talk about the changes to the design of the Sonic the Hedgehog character. These, in my opinion, are positive changes. As long as they actually take the source material and make him look like Sonic the Hedgehog when he was prominent, then this will probably be a good thing for the film. If you're listening to fan feedback and changing things based on fan feedback, that's a good thing. Obviously, fans are the ones who are going to see this movie. You want this movie to be successful, don't you? If you want to release this movie as it looked, as it seemed to be already, this movie probably would have not been successful. So people probably would have been out of jobs after the release of this movie if it did not reach certain budgets. But I want to talk about the actual trailer itself once again, because what's funny about this is it's not like this trailer just sort of popped up overnight. You got to remember, there were many leaks about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie before this trailer even came to be. We've been talking about leaks, or people have been talking about leaks and character designs and posters and teasers for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie for months now. And it seems like all of that was okay. Talking about it then was okay. Talking about it then wasn't a big deal. But once we got the trailer, well, that's where I draw the line. You can't talk bad about this movie now, bucko. And what's funny about this is this trailer isn't even really new. If you remember, Dreamcast guy made a video a couple months ago saying that he saw the trailer. And when he made that video, I was kind of like, all right, Dreamcast guy, you're the homie, I respect what you do, I respect what you say, but I don't know about this, man. A buddy cop movie starring Sonic the Hedgehog, Gangsta's Paradise playing, are you sure you weren't trolled? But he accurately predicted and talked about what the trailer was going to be months before the trailer was actually released. So it's not like this wasn't, used in sort of some sort of consumer feedback. Obviously, when movie companies release a trailer, there is consumer feedback that's going to happen with this. And whether that consumer feedback is good or bad is, indicative of the movie itself. If people want to see changes and then a company decides to do changes, why is that bad? And now a lot of people are trying to reference the Sonic the Hedgehog movie to a situation that happened with Sekiro. Sekiro is a very difficult game that released on the PS4 and the Xbox One from Software. And some people felt that there should have been an easy mode incorporated into that game, which of course would be going against the director's design of that game. And there were definitely split camps about it. A lot of people were like, no, there shouldn't be an easy mode. Some people were like, yes, there should have been an easy mode, and it's sort of caused a division. It's sort of caused a topic of conversation, which inherently is not a bad thing. Conversing about something and throwing out ideas about something is not a bad thing. If From Software decided, hey, we should put an easy mode in this game, okay, they decided to put an easy mode in the game. That's great. If From Software says, hey, we're not going to put an easy mode in this game, this is the way we want it, that's great once again. If they decided to do that with Sonic the Hedgehog movie, then it would have been what it was. All because people are talking negatively about something, all because people aren't happy about something, doesn't inherently mean that it's bad. Why are we trying to silence criticism about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Because now all of a sudden we're going against a designer's wishes. Now all of a sudden the director is all-knowing and all-seeing, and we are not allowed to say anything negative about this. Of course, then you have the fact that a lot of people are starting to hop on this bandwagon that the animators for Sonic the Hedgehog's movie are now going to be put under crunch time. They're going to be working elongated hours. It's going to be hellacious working conditions, and it's all because some people on the internet complained about the movie. And wow, that is such a massive, massive jump. Now, granted, harsh work conditions are not something to joke about. Harsh work conditions are a terrible, terrible thing. You hear about it with different development studios out there. Of course, there was the whole situation with Epic, with people working 100-hour work weeks on Fortnite. You had it with Rockstar and Red Dead Redemption. There's stuff going on about Mortal Kombat 11. The video gaming industry harbors this sort of stuff because there is no union for the video game industry right now. Now, last time I checked, there was a union for animators in Hollywood, though, and it was developed during the 1940s during harsh work conditions from Disney. And since then, many major motion picture studios, including Paramount Studios, who's doing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, are involved with this union. So why all of a sudden are we saying that all these animators that are working on the movie are going to be put under these horrible work conditions, and it's all the internet's fault for saying that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie didn't look good, when there is absolutely positively no proof about it? No animator has came out from the Sonic the Hedgehog project and said, oh, now they just increased our work weeks to 100-hour 8-hour work weeks. No, it's just some stupid assumption that people are going on. But let's keep that energy. You know what? Let's keep that energy. Let's keep that energy that these people are now going to be put under terrible work conditions and all of this stuff because they are redoing the Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie character design for Sonic the Hedgehog. Where was this yesterday with Bloodstained? In case you did not see, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has undergone a massive graphical overhaul since the PAX East build of the game. The game that you saw at PAX East is now no longer necessarily indicative of Bloodstained. They have changed the character designs, they have changed the level designs, they have changed the graphics and the aesthetics of the game based on consumer feedback. And honestly, I didn't hate the original design, but now it looks so much better in my opinion. And they came out and flat out said, well, hey, you know what? We did this based on consumer feedback. So where was all this energy about these poor animators yesterday with Bloodstained? Is it because Bloodstained isn't as big of a name as Sonic the Hedgehog? We can't get those retweets, we can't get those blog posts, we can't get those Facebook and Twitter shares of our website article based on Bloodstained? Nobody said a damn thing about the poor designers that are doing the animation for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is supposed to come out in June. It has been confirmed for June. That is a much bigger crunch time than something that a major motion picture that probably has already undergone some changes, that already has had this trailer been seen by other people months and months in advance when this movie is scheduled to come out in November of 2019. I'm sure Paramount has a much bigger work design than the team working on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, but there was no energy for that. Why? Why is this? Do you not see how hypocritical this is? All of a sudden, if you didn't like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and you said something negative about it, you know what? You're a bad person. You're a bad person because now they're changing it. You have ruined the character design. You have ruined the director's vision of this. And maybe Paramount is going to go against the Animation Guild, which of course is the union that protects animators in Hollywood that was, like I said, established in the 1940s, and give these people horrible work conditions because that would go over really well. You know, these unions, they don't really pay attention to things like that. Or maybe, just maybe, people are overreacting to this. Maybe people are being a bit hypocritical. And unfortunately, some of my friends are, you know, sharing this notion as well. And you know what? That's cool, man. If that's the way you feel about things, that's awesome. You know, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. But I think to jump to these massive conclusions that saying negative things about something and hoping for a change and then getting a change is inherently a bad thing sets a really bad precedent for the future going forward. You shouldn't just sit there and say, please, sir, may I have some more? No, if you don't like something, you should be able to talk about it. If a change comes from it, then awesome. If a change doesn't come from it, then it is what it is. You move on with your life. But to sit there and shame people, to sit there and talk down to people because of some fictitious situation that you made up in your head that you think could potentially happen, it's just ludicrous. You know what? At the end of the day, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I think people want this movie to be as good as humanly possible because a lot of people care about the Sonic the Hedgehog character. Voicing your opinion on something and saying something is negative isn't inherently a bad thing. Some of my friends, people that I consider friends, people that I talk to, have this sort of stance that, you know what, we shouldn't have complained about Sonic the Hedgehog, and now bad things could potentially happen from this. And you know what? That's their opinion at the end of the day. I still consider them a friend. Everyone is allowed to have a different opinion. If you watch my videos, you're allowed to have a different opinion. If you're a friend of mine, you're allowed to have a different opinion. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion. And the fact that there's so much hypocrisy surrounding this and we're just picking and choosing our battles is just ridiculous to me. If you're gonna have that energy, keep that energy with everything. If not, just let things be. If people want to make changes, if people want their voices to be heard, and companies decide to make changes, that should be a positive thing. But I don't know, I just wanted to talk about this because I just found it so ridiculous that so many people are jumping onto this bandwagon now, and it's almost like the cool thing to do is to bash people who complained about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. Are you happy that there are changes being made to the Sonic the Hedgehog character design? Do you think they should have just stuck with their guns and released the movie as it is? Or do you think this could have been a ploy all along and maybe they knew that there would be negative reaction, so maybe they've already been doing character design changes along the way and it won't even end up being a big deal? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.